Director of Small Business Development Center, and on May 22nd, he has something, or they have something special coming up. They're going to hold the event right at the Lehman College Center. They're going to focus on marketing and sales. You don't want to miss this. Marketing and sales is so very, very important when you run a business. So please welcome Clarence Stanley.
Good to see you.
It was a pleasure to see you.
Thank you, thank you.
Marketing and business. Tell us first of all about the Small Business Development Center.
Well, this is our 13th year here at Lehman College, Bob, and we've had some successes. You know, this has been a rather difficult period this last several years, but now we're starting to see ourselves come out of a recession. Out of the, we've counseled almost 10,000 small businesses in the period we've been here, between counseling and classes we've conducted, and about $92 million in economic development in the Bronx.
Yes.
Okay.
You know, we see the stock market booming.
Stock
but
market
is everything
booming.
else following along? I mean, is it pulling everything else along?
You're starting to see some positive thing. You know, most of the market was impacted by this whole global. We've gone global.
Yes.
So your small businesses now, you see in the United States now, we're showing folks how to do business overseas. You're starting to see those overseas markets starting to pick up. You know, there's 7.5 billion people on the face of the earth. Now we're starting to see folks now starting to understand you go global. Even small businesses now are able to do business in China with 1.5 billion people, in India and South America. So you're starting to see this explosion. And as the economy is starting to get better throughout the globe, you're starting to see things pick up. Now, the United States is, I think we're starting to pick up now.
The United States is driving this world economy? The
United States is part of the world, China, of course, and you're starting to see some things pick up in the United States now. Things beginning to stabilize. You're starting to see some folks go back. The unemployment rate is now down. So folks starting to go back to work. We're starting to see some things happen here in Bronx County that are very exciting, particularly for small businesses. And that's where my focus is, on the small business owner, because the small businesses, that's what drives this economy. The small business owner, that mom and pop guy that's out there every day.
And we've been talking for a number of times on this show. And we've been on when times were really, really bad.
Really bad,
And I think I remember you saying that it was a great time to get involved in education and start a whole nother look on life, another way of doing things, like get involved in starting your own business. Starting your own business,
and I'm particularly still focused on real estate. You know, the real estate market has been, as you know, been kind of dynamic. You see, remember one time when you couldn't afford, Harlem was for sale?
Oh yeah.
Now you can't touch anything
You
in
get
Harlem.
something for like $200,000, $100,000 of large brownstone, but now you're going to pay $250 million.
Yeah, now you go to Brooklyn, Williamsburg, different parts of Brooklyn.
About $2.5 million.
$2.5 million, and in Brooklyn the same thing. Williamsburg and parts of Brooklyn where at one time you had a recession. Bed-Stuy. Now the Bronx County, and I encourage folks. I've been talking this for a long time. Where you possibly can purchase your real estate. Now with interest rates have never been low. The Fed has kept interest rates down to like a 0 point for banks.
Don't worry about gentrification. Just
go in, buy something right now, and you'll find that what you're paying for rent, you can almost afford a mortgage. So I encourage my small business, well, in certain areas. Not in Manhattan, not in Brooklyn, but parts of the Bronx, parts of Westchester. I would focus on Bronx County. The Bronx, you said the Bronx is open for business. You can, where you can right now, take advantage of this opportunity to purchase because the interest rates have never been lower. So now, your combination of interest rates being low,
4%, 5%, 6%.
And with an SBA loan, we actually will guarantee the loan to the banks. So now's a good time to approach it, to take a look at starting a business or expanding a business.
Should people also focus along with that on getting their credit rating straight?
That's a very, very good point. Excellent point. I think you should monitor your credit at all times. You know, most banks, what we call credit score lenders, they take a look at your credit score, and if you don't hit a certain criteria, well, you don't qualify. Well, my job is to help you navigate that. And also to talk to banks that don't credit score lend, but they would call what we call character lending. They take a look at what kind of a difference you're going to make in the community. Certain things may have happened in the past that may not be indicative of what's going to happen to you in the future. So the bank that takes a look at the character of the person and look at what you're going to do for the economy and how many jobs you're going to create. That's what they begin to measure.
So that's when you come with your business plan.
You put a business plan together and say, this makes it, whatever happened in the past, I've got an idea on how I can make my business grow, how I can make a difference in this economy, how I can create some jobs. And that's, job creation is where we are right now. And this is what I'm focused on right now.
So you got a lot of people that want to start a business. What's the first step? What should they do?
The first step is to take a look at, do some research. You take a look at do a demographic profile. Someone said, well, what industry should I get into right now? Well, as we're living longer as Americans, you're starting to see now more seniors. Now you're starting to see folks that are living a lot longer.
Seniors still working.
Seniors still working,
yeah.
Exactly. And so you begin to focus on that senior market and healthcare. Healthcare is the driving force right now. Healthcare, there's a lot of, I'm going to have a workshop in a couple of weeks on the Affordable Healthcare Act. There's a lot of Obamacare, which is it's kind of a negative connotation, but it's actually a positive thing.
Yeah,
depending on who you talk to.
Right.
And if you're talking to an accountant, someone will say, well, Obamacare is a good thing in terms of folks who do not have health care. So there's a lot of misinformation out there, and I want to clarify that to the extent possible.
Yeah.
Maybe with your help also get the word out.
Sure. And a lot of people are shifting. Those health plans are shifting the way they do business and the way they deal with people right
Exactly.
about now.
And also, for the small business owners, understand that one way to keep good employees is to offer some kind of health care programs. And folks right now, the preconditions, where you can't get insurance, well, that's no longer the case now.
Yeah.
So a lot of positive things about the affordable health, and also the tax credits for small business owners that they need to know about.
Yeah.
So that's important. So
But how do you offset it? A lot of people, they want a full-time job, but businesses or companies are offering part-time jobs and using not subs, but temporary temps.
Temps, yeah.
So as a temp and as a part-time worker, how do you still need health insurance now?
You still need health
whereas
insurance.
they didn't give it to you before because you were part-time.
Right. Now, under the we'll talk about it. The Affordable Care Act kind of helps remedy that a little bit, puts you into a group, and we're going to have a workshop to talk about that issue on how to. That's critical throughout this country.
Yes.
Healthcare is important.
Yes, it is.
So you talk about it. So the number one industry to take a look at starting a business. Where are the opportunities? Healthcare is a big opportunity, and talk about the Bronx, tourism. And you talk about working part-time, different places. A lot of folks are working more than one job. That's why I recommend look for something that you're good at, look at something you make, and start your own business.
Yeah.
This way you're not at the mercy of the man. So
and it wouldn't be a job, but it'd be a career.
It'd be your career, it'd be you.
Yes, yes.
I mean, there's certain areas that they are risky. We do a lot of franchises. We do all the franchises right here. If you want a franchise, a Subway, a Golden Crust, or tax franchise, come right here to the Small Business Development Center. We'll put together the entire package.
Wow, they want to know you.
And get you to the bank.
People want to know you.
And we'll arrange the financing. And
they really want to know you.
That's our role. And I think one of the biggest problems we have, a lot of folks don't know enough about us. They don't know we're here.
Yeah.
And so getting your show helps you get the word out.
Good.
And
so you have something really, really big happening May the 22nd.
Yeah, when we talk about marketing your business, it's one thing to get a business started. Next thing is to drive customers in. And marketing, we call it integrated marketing. When you take your marketing and say, well, you're going to do some flyers, you're going to do brochures, you're going to do advertising. But now we're getting into this digital age. So now how do you get your brand out there? How do you get on the internet? Everything is being driven by the internet. So we've made an arrangement with the Daily News. They have a program called Digital Solutions for Small Business.
Oh, beautiful.
So try getting online, getting your website, getting your web presence, and getting involved with social media, working with social media. And this way, instead of doing that advertising, hits a newspaper once a month, now you're online, and you've got constant contact. You got Facebook, you got Twitter, Google,
Instagram,
and
all that stuff.
And all of a sudden, so you get one hit.
Yes.
Even at Lehman College, we're getting better at marketing this institution. And the small business development, I mentioned earlier, we don't get to talk enough about us. We've actually got 4,000 followers now.
Wow.
Just by going on the internet. Yeah. So you're running in and say, I got a workshop coming out. All of a sudden, there's 4,000 hits.
I see it as you're getting people to come through. You have a bridge, and you get people to come across your bridge or come through your toll booth.
Right.
Now, what would you do if you owned the toll booth, and how would you prepare yourself to get people to come through that toll booth?
Exactly. So
he's rapping me. So give me, what do you want the public to know?
I want the public to know
what I didn't ask.
May 22nd, come a 10-hour workshop. Take your business to that next level. You want to start? Let's talk about digital marketing as a way of doing business.
There you go.
So we look to see you here.
Clarence Stanley, Director of Small Business Development Center. Give him a big round of applause, everybody. Students.